Come on in. You must be Joe.
Yes, Mr. Lyons, it's a pleasure to meet you.
It's great to have you here. Go ahead and have a seat.
Thank you.
How was your flight in last night?
It was very, very smooth.
Very smooth. They get you in a nice little hotel like I told them to?
Yes, they did. They took great care of me, and a cab came this morning to pick
Very,
me up.
very good to hear.
Office. Thank you for that.
You're welcome. I'll tell you a little bit about what we're gonna be doing today. We're gonna start off, and you're just gonna tell me a little bit about yourself. We're gonna talk about our company here at Waterway and kind of the ins and outs and the values that we have here. If you want to go ahead and just start, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Sure. I graduated from Oklahoma City University with a bachelor's degree in accounting with a cumulative 3.4 GPA. While at OCU, I also played baseball for 2 years.
Sure.
Under a great staff, and they taught me a lot about how to deal with time management and other things like that.
That's great. So, what do you know about our company here at Waterway?
I know the company's been strong for over 40 years, and which means that the leadership is outstanding.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard a lot about the great employee chemistry, which is very appealing, and I've also heard a lot about the great opportunities for advancement within the company.
Sure. So, why do you want to work specifically for us, other than some of these other accounting firms running around?
Well, like I said, the company has been very strong and stable for over 40 years, and I'm very interested in being a part of something like that. And also, the very friendly environment I mentioned is also very, very appealing. And I also have a very strong desire to learn.
Sure.
and to keep growing within the company as I go.
Sure. One of the big requirements for here for the attributes and the skills that we really like our employees to have is to be self-motivated. Could you tell me about a situation where you maybe had to show very strong self-motivation, whether it's on a baseball field, in the workplace, in the classroom, anything along those lines?
Sure. As a baseball player, it takes a lot of self-motivation to be able to do what we do day in and day out.
Sure.
Baseball is a game of failure, and so it takes a lot to be able to deal with that failure and keep moving forward.
Sure.
So, for example, my senior year of college, I had a rough patch where I was really, really struggling offensively, and it took a lot for me not to cave in and give up on myself. And it took a lot of self-motivation to kind of bring myself out of the hole and say that I'm good enough and to put the extra work in to prove that I was good enough.
Sure. So, you talk about self-motivation on the baseball field and talk a lot about being a college athlete. How do you think being a college athlete can benefit you in the workplace? Like, what skills, what attributes have you developed through maybe learning from your coaches or just learning from the on-the-field play or off-the-field activities that you all are involved in?
Well, playing baseball for so long has helped me to really develop a strong sense of teamwork.
Sure.
I've always been taught to be a good team player, so I feel like I've done a great job of that over the years.
Sure.
My work ethic has also developed quite a bit from playing, and I think that's extremely important in the workplace to have a strong work ethic. And coaches have always pushed me to be better, to make myself better, to keep pushing myself to be better, never be content with where I am, because if you're not getting better, you're getting worse, essentially.
Sure.
And so I've always pushed myself to get better and to never waste a day.
Sure. So, growing up in Oklahoma City, I did see on your resume that you did spend your first 2 years at Wichita State, so you were away from home for a little bit. But how would you deal with like a permanent relocation if, say, we needed you to work at our corporate headquarters in Missouri and you weren't able to necessarily stay close to home in Oklahoma City? How would that be okay, or is that something you'd like to avoid?
Yeah, as you said, I lived in Wichita for 2 years, and that was actually a relief in some ways to get away from home and find out what it's like to live on my own, and I feel like I did a pretty good job of that, and I was comfortable. So yeah, I think I would be very flexible as far as where I would work, and I would just really be grateful for the opportunity to have a chance to work for Waterway, because I mean the company speaks for itself. It's very successful, and I'm very, very interested.
Sure, and that's a big thing for us, because sometimes you don't really get to choose where you're working. It's just where there's an opening. So if being very flexible with relocation is something that we really value here. So it was really good to get to talk to you and everything. I think you can probably expect a second interview. We'll probably give you a call here in the next couple days. We can probably fly you back out here in another couple weeks for another interview, and it was really good to get to talk to you, man.
That sounds great. Thanks so much for having me. It was a pleasure to meet you.
Hope you have a safe flight back, man.
Thank you. Hope to hear from you soon.
Enjoy your time.